Test security for maintenance and security personnel. Each year, staff that have access to secure materials must complete test security and confidentiality training. This training does not take the place of reading the appropriate manuals and online resources, including test security, which can be found in each manual and on the DCCR webpage. At the end of this training, you will complete an oath of test security and confidentiality. When you sign that oath, you're attesting that you understand your responsibilities. The State Assessment Program fulfills federal requirements to test students in specific grades and subjects. It ensures students in Texas are competitive with other students nationally and internationally. The STAR program is a standardized achievement test, and the TELPAS assesses our language acquisition skills of our emergent bilingual students. In addition to STAR, STAR Alternate 2, TELPAS, TELPAS Alternate, your responsibilities extend to other assessment programs such as field test questions, interim assessments, and the Texas Formative Assessment Resources, or TFAR. Test security. The Texas Education Agency has guidelines that must be followed to ensure test security and confidentiality are maintained. What is test security? Test security encompasses the policies and procedures that preserve the integrity of the test content to ensure results are meaningful and valid. They require all participants to adhere to instructions and procedures contained in the Test Administration Manual and online resources. They ensure fair and equitable testing for all students. They require that we provide training to all individuals annually. After training, we must collect an oath of test security and confidentiality. We also must account for all secure test materials before, during, and after each assessment. To do this, we must identify who can handle secure materials, ensure that they are stored in a locked location with limited access, and track the chain of custody. This helps us maintain the integrity of the documentation and testing process. Everyone is responsible for the proper storage of secure material. If materials are left unattended, you should immediately contact the testing coordinator on that campus. Secure materials include online test content, test booklets, test tickets, session IDs, TELPAS calibration activities, the components for holistically rating students, the TELPAS alternate observable behavior documentation, and STAR alternate image cards. Secure manuals and test booklets are all considered secure. How do I maintain test security? To maintain test security, we must ensure that all district and campus personnel meet the eligibility requirements, attend and are engaged in all trainings, sign the oath of test security and confidentiality, and actively monitor to ensure that all tests are administered in strict accordance with test procedures. Test content is secure, and you should never view, discuss, or record test content. Never take a picture of the screen. Do not copy, print, take notes, or capture by any means. Only students may respond to test questions. Building disruptions should be reported so that I can begin coordinating with TA and plan to resume testing that has been suspended. Safety of students and staff is first. If there is a fire or water damage, we will gather secure material when it is safe to do so. If you need to enter a testing room or the secure storage, please be sure to notify the testing coordinator. What is an irregularity and what happens next? Incidents resulting in deviations from documented testing procedures are defined as testing irregularities. These fall into one of three categories: serious, procedural, or locally determined disciplinary actions. Today I'm going to explain serious and procedural. In general, serious violations involve an intended act by a staff member, such as to alter a test response or discuss test content. Procedural testing irregularities are less severe, more common, and typically the result of minor deviations in testing procedures. Procedural irregularities fall into one of these categories: monitoring issues, accommodation errors, eligibility errors, improper accounting for secure material, and other errors. Procedural irregularities are generally unintentional mistakes made by staff members, such as leaving secure material in an unlocked, unmonitored setting. Report all incidents that or could be an irregularity to the testing coordinator immediately. The campus administration and testing coordinator will investigate to determine if an irregularity occurred. Investigating an irregularity. When investigating, we want to paint a picture of what happened. The first step is an interview. This is only a fact-finding conversation. It is not a gotcha. The second step is for you to provide a written statement. This is so that you can tell your story in your words. For certified staff, Chapter 39 of the Texas Administrative Code states that a serious irregularity could result in an invalidation of student results. The educator could be referred to the State Board of Education or the lowering of an accountability rating for the district or campus. For non-certified staff, they would be referred to Human Resources for appropriate action. Because our district takes test security seriously and works as a team to train and to follow all procedures, we reduce the risk of a serious testing irregularity. Oath of Test Security and Confidentiality. The final step in your training is to submit an Oath of Test Security and Confidentiality. When signing this oath, you will acknowledge the responsibilities to report suspected testing irregularities to the campus testing coordinator, campus administrators, or the TA Student Assessment Division, and that you are aware of the range of penalties that may result from a violation. This oath is valid for 1 school year. Thank you for your time you spent completing this training. As a reminder, you're required to read the appropriate manuals and online resources, follow all testing procedures, report any violations or suspicions of violations of test security and confidentiality, and attend campus-specific training as they apply to your role. If you have any questions, contact the campus testing coordinator immediately. Thank you for your time spent completing this training. If you have any questions, please contact the campus testing coordinator or the director of assessments.